You want to hear a story? Great. Here is a story about a wealthy father and his son. One day, a father of a very wealthy family took his son on a trip to the countryside with the firm purpose of showing his son how poor people live. They spent a couple of days and nights on the farm of what would be considered a very poor family. On the return from the trip, the father asked his son, "How was the trip?" "It was great, Dad," his son replied. "Did you see how poor they lived?" the father asked. "Oh yeah," the son said. "So tell me, what did you learn from that trip?" asked the father. The son answered, "I saw that we have one dog and that they had four. We have a pool that reaches to the middle of our garden, and they have a creek that has no end. We have important lanterns in our garden, and they have the stars at night. Our patio reaches to the front yard, and they have the whole horizon. We have a small piece of land to live on, and they have fields that go beyond our sight. We have servants who serve us, but they serve others. We buy our food, but they grow theirs. We have walls around our property to protect us. They have friends to protect them." The boy's father was speechless. Then his son added, "Thanks, Dad, for showing me how poor we really are." Take a moment to digest that story and leave a comment on what you think that story means. I would love to hear your reply. This is Crown Vic, and I would like to welcome you all to my palace. It's all a state of mind. In this video, I am happy to share that I am embarking on a 30-day meditation and affirmation journey. Despite my busy schedule, I have decided to challenge myself and document my experiences on this channel. You can visit my website and Discord for a more detailed breakdown of the journey. The links to both will be provided below in the description. So, why is meditation so important for me? Well, I'm glad you asked. I want to pull out my cell phone for a moment so I can ask Google this question. There was this TV cartoon show that I used to watch while I was growing up called Courage the Cowardly Dog. He used to ask Google before Google existed. Google, but it was really the computer. What is the solution for my problems? He would type in on his computer and would always get these answers. That's what some people believe ChatGPT and Google comes from. It's from Courage the Cowardly the Dog. Thank you, Courage. Google, how many thoughts do we have per day? In 2005, the National Science Foundation published an article summarizing research on human thoughts per day. It was found that the average person has about 12 to 60,000 thoughts per day. Of those thousands of thoughts, 80% 80% were negative, and 95% were exactly the same repetitive thoughts as the day before. Thank you, Google. Why is meditation important for me? Meditation allows me to be conscious of the thoughts that I have per day. When I was growing up, I used to have these hamsters, and they would be in these small cages, and I would feel bad for these hamsters, but I loved my hamsters. But these hamsters would be in these cages, and all night I would hear these hamsters. I specifically remember when I was in 6th grade, I would wake up and I would hear the hamsters on the wheels just turning and turning and turning. And these hamsters, this was their entire world pretty much. Ultimately, when you consider what we just learned about our thoughts and how we repeat these thoughts, we are no different on a psychological level than the hamsters on the wheel. If we continuously repeat the same network programming pretty much from the previous days, and oftentimes 80% of our thoughts are negative, that is not a good thing. It's not a positive thing, so it can't be nothing else but a negative thing. So why is meditation very important for me? It's important for me to escape the cycle of my previous thoughts, of what led me in the hole in the first place. I'm all about solutions. I'm not about complaining about the problems. How can I get into a different position? So it's all a state of mind, right? It's all a state of mind. When it comes to our poverty, when it comes to our situation, it's all about how you see it. Do you see yourself in an impoverished situation, or do you see yourself in a more better situation? All right. Do you see you being a poor person, always serving other people as a bad thing, or do you see yourself serving people as a good thing? It's all a state of mind. And so practicing meditation allows you to be more conscious of the thought process that we have throughout our days. No matter how grim our situations may look, if you woke up this morning, guess what? You're still alive. Oftentimes we can see, right? You can see. And if you can see, then that's a great thing. A lot of blind people wish they could see just like you could see. If you can walk on your own, that's a blessing. Practice gratitude. Meditation allows you to focus on those thoughts in this way. This is why this is very important for me, because it redirects those negative thoughts and the thoughts from yesterday into a completely new pair of thoughts today, moving forward to tomorrow. And not only that, but I'm also more aware of my negative thoughts, so I can redirect those negative thoughts into something positive. This is why meditation is very important for me. This is why I'm going on a journey, and I invite you to come on this journey with me. For the next month, I plan on dedicating a portion of my daily routine to meditation and affirmations. By incorporating these practices into my daily routine, I aim to cultivate a positive mindset, develop inner peace and self-love, and promote personal growth. Now you may wonder what these practices entail. Meditation involves quieting the mind and focusing on the present moment, while affirmations are positive statements we repeat to reinforce beliefs and intentions. However, what I just mentioned just now is like meditation in its most basic form. There are many different types of meditation. Like the one I just mentioned is the meditation that helps when it comes to settling the monkey mind. Monkey mind likes to go look over here, look over there, and it's hard to stay focused. And this is where we get this idea, this terminology that we use in our society, our Western society, that we have ADHD, attention deficit disorder. So that's not always the case, but that's usually how psychiatrists or whoever it is that we see, they diagnose us with this condition, this mental disorder, as they say, when really we need to learn to train the monkey mind, to settle the monkey mind. That's what the basic form of the meditation is settling the mind, observing your thoughts, and seeing where the mind takes us. And then eventually the mind gets tired of just like being observed, then it settles. And then through there, you have more control over your thoughts, over your emotions. Not to say that, okay, I'm only going to feel good today, but you start to understand that, okay, I'm feeling this way today, but I don't have to react to said thoughts or said emotions. And that's meditation at its most basic form. However, what I'm going to include in this meditation challenge is visualization. So I'm sure you already heard of what they call manifestation, the law of attraction, in which however you feel, you attract into your life. And that's what I want to include in this in this meditation. Along with the law of attraction, there's this man called Neville Goddard, very popular when it comes to the law of attraction. He's one of the ones who popularized this term, or not a term, but really a phrase, seeing the wish fulfilled. So in other words, if you see yourself in the end, rather than as being the person that you wish to be, rather than looking at the current reality where you are right now, oh, I'm in this situation where I don't have any money, well, start to see or imagine yourself having the money, and what are you going to do with the money? All right, how do you feel during that time when you have that money? What are you going to buy? What would you do with it? You got to see yourself in the end, and then from that in state of mind or in state of consciousness, you start to attract certain thoughts, certain outcomes, certain things that starts to line up with said vision, because it is said that everything that we see right now is a manifestation of what we manifested in our past through a collection of thoughts, emotions, and action. All right, so once we transform our thoughts, which we start to gather and have more control over through this meditation challenge, you want to get into the place where while you're visualizing, you're including all 5 of your senses. And then by including all 5 of your senses and you make a habit of visualization in this way, that's when you start to change your reality. And that's the purpose of this challenge. As a truck driver, I will meditate daily to create a peaceful mindset during my travels. This will allow me to be fully present and centered. Additionally, I will write down affirmations that resonate with me, such as I am worthy, I am capable, and I am deserving of love and happiness. Throughout the challenge, I will keep you updated on my progress, share any insights, and discuss any obstacles I encounter. I want to be transparent about this journey and show you all the ups and downs that come with it. One thing a lot of people like to say are the excuses they come up with when it comes to doing something that they feel in their heart that they should do. So for example, dieting, exercising, when it comes to opening or starting up their own business, whatever it is that they know in their heart that they should be doing, they come up with 1,000 excuses as to why they should not be doing it. Remember what we said earlier about our negative thoughts. The thoughts that got us into this position in the first place is 90 to 95% of our thought process. So once we change these thought process through meditation, become aware of these thoughts, such as affirmations is a helpful tool to helping you open up the mind. So instead of saying things like I can't, say I will and I have done already. And so once you say things in this nature, your mind starts to automatically be reprogrammed. It's almost like you getting a new vehicle for your thoughts, and your thoughts have no choice but to go into this destination once you start to affirm in a different way. So instead of saying I don't have enough time to do this, that, and the other, you start to say I have time, and matter of fact, whatever it is that I want to do, I can see myself already getting it done. And so once you change and start speaking it, it's almost like you putting your thoughts on a train, and that train is going to a different destination whether your mind is ready for it or not. And so this is the importance of affirmations in our meditations. All right, we all have 24 hours in a day. As a truck driver, once again, a lot of people get this idea that you definitely don't have enough time per day, because why? You're always driving. You're literally on the job pretty much 24/7. But if your mind is clear, and if you are aware of the opportunities presented all around you, you can see yourself in my position, for example, that even though I'm driving, guess what I can do while I'm driving? I could still be mindful while I'm driving. I don't always have to just be doing some truck drivers, all they want to do is talk on their headsets. So all they want to do is just talk from about 6 hours throughout the entire day. All right, but you don't have to always do that. You can just sit there and just be mindful of the thoughts that come in your mind while you're driving. You don't have to be distracted driving. You're just driving, and you're like, okay, I'm mindful of my thoughts, mindful of my actions, mindful of my emotions. Why? Because it's easy for us on the road to get road rage. But once we start to breathe in, breathe out, as soon as that person starts to cut us off, and we remember our meditation through mindfulness, that's when we start to become different, as the days go on. And it's going to take a little while for our mind to reset. All right, it is said that it takes about 21 days to break a habit. So for example, if you're constantly smoking and you can't stop smoking, it's going to take you 21 days of not just stop smoking. Now you can't, that's the key. All right, remember, energy flows where attention goes. It's not to stop smoking, but it's to find something else to replace that bad addiction with. So whatever it is that you can replace it with, that is a good habit. So anytime you feel the urge to smoke, you replace that urge with something else. Then you start to break that habit of smoking. In 21 days, if you can just continuously not smoke and you refocus that energy into something else that's more productive, you're more likely going to start shattering those what they call neural pathways that kept leading you down the wrong path. Those old patterns of thoughts, that 95% of those bad habits, right? And then it's going to take about 28 days to create new neural pathways in that brain. And so once you replace those negative habits of yours with positive habits on this 28 to 30 day journey, that's when we start to see a start in transformations. Now, I want to clarify, I say 30 days, but really, I want this to be a life-changing habit that we take with us beyond 30 days, right? Really, I want this to be a lifestyle. So this is the approach that I'm going to go for in this journey. But I also want to clarify this, in my own meditation, I've noticed a difference in the way my days have unfolded once I start doing meditations. Oftentimes when I meditate, I'm not only aware of my own thoughts and habits, but I'm also aware of how things outside of my locus of control flows together. Because this is my belief that the mind is not just here, but it's all around, right? And that's why people say that I can feel the vibes of the room, because the aura, right? The aura that we inhabit is blooms outside of us. It's not just inside of us. It blooms outside of us. When you're walking, if you have spiritual vision, you can see the auras of people like a big magnet or a glowing magnet around people. And that magnet is very sensitive, all right? So it can feel other people's intentions, vibes, their energy, their emotions, without ever having to see it on a five sensory level. With the eyes, we can see, taste, touch, smell, hear. You don't necessarily need to always use these five senses when you're in tune with the sixth sense, all right, of what we're talking about right here. And so when we meditate, we get more in tune with that sixth sense. In that way, we're able to be more in tune with our environment. Things start to flow in our favor as long as we start to continuously focus on whatever it is that we're trying to do. So say, for example, I want to talk about affirmations in the sense of manifestations, right? And so Neville Goddard is the one who popularized this phrase. And the phrase goes, how does the phrase go? The phrase goes, see yourself in the end. All right? See the wish fulfilled. When the wish is fulfilled, right? And by that, you might be like, what are you talking about, the wish fulfilled? If you are a basketball player, right? If you are a basketball player and you see yourself becoming a professional basketball player, just an example, you have to see yourself holding the basketball championship trophy. How does it feel? What team are you playing for? Not only that, but what are you sensing all around the room? This is the time you use all five of your senses in a sixth sense sort of way. With your mind's eye, don't get concerned with the present moment, because the present moment is just a manifestation of your past. And you will continue to live in the present moment if you continually what? On that hamster wheel, going back and forth with what happened in the past. Now, if you let go of the past and that old way of thinking, especially the negative thoughts that keep you there, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, rather than I can do this and I can, like, for example, I want to just backtrack just a little bit back to that statement. A lot of people say, I can't go to the gym because I don't have time. Do you not have time? Or is it that you're not waking up on time? So, if you have, for example, right, like I used to be a teacher before a truck driver. I used to have to go to school and at about 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is when it started. But I had to be there. I could be there at 8. Some teachers arrived there at 8, but I got there on time. But guess what? I could wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, go to the gym for about 30, 45, even an hour, go back home, take a shower, and then still have enough energy, prep, and all this stuff to go to work and come back from work. You don't have to take the big leaps first. And in this meditation practice, I want to stress this. Sometimes I don't always meditate. They recommend 10 minutes a day. Sometimes it could just be 1 minute a day. It could be 30 seconds a day. 30 seconds for me, well, by 30 seconds a day, I mean like 30 seconds in the morning, 30 seconds in right before I go to sleep. All right, take baby steps if you need to. All right, but the point that the importance is continuously do it every single day, even if it's a small step. Even if you stumble and you fall a little bit, you're still stepping forward. And that's what we're doing here on this meditation journey. We are creating a different neural pathway in our minds by meditating, sitting there, and then thinking, seeing ourselves in the end. And then once we see ourselves with that basketball trophy, we start to create new pathways in our brain. We start to develop a I can do attitude and start to figure out steps to get there along the way. And that's what I'm doing with this YouTube channel. You think I would be posting this if I was still caught up in the same mindset that I was in yesterday? No, I gotta continue. I started to think different. I said, you know what? I could go further, and I'm still go further. And that's why you're listening and you're watching this video right now. And I will continue to be posting more videos in the future. And my goal is to be more consistent, because if you go look at my old YouTube channels, my old YouTube videos, and just in channels in general, like if, I don't just have this YouTube channel, I have several, not just YouTube channels, but social medias and Instagrams, TikToks. But I would get on the ball, then I stop. My goal right here is to be more consistent. So this meditation journey goes beyond just meditation for meditation's sake. It's a lifestyle. And it's a lifestyle that organizes my mind so that I can go further and be more consistent in the future. Share more information, hopefully help more people, and then be a greater person than I am today by changing my mindset of the thoughts that I held yesterday. And not only am I going to replace those negative, I'm going to get rid of those negative thoughts, but I will replace them with positive thoughts and thoughts of building a new future. This is what this is all about. I will share with you my experiences, whether it be feeling calmer and more centered, experiencing moments of clarity and insights, or facing resistance and distractions. Through documenting my journey, I hope to inspire others to embark on their own paths of self-discovery and personal growth. Are you interested in joining me for a 30-day meditation and affirmation challenge? If so, please comment below with the affirmation you plan to incorporate and the timestamp of when you're starting. Remember to keep me updated on your progress, and let's embark on this journey together to see where it takes us exactly. Remember to subscribe to my channel and follow my blog for daily updates and insights. Take care, stay present, and let's walk in royalty together.